Welcome back to our channel. My name is Jasmine.
And I'm Dave.
And this is Engineered by God, where we navigate life from a Christian perspective. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I was a kid, I was always a kid who knew that, I wanted to have children. I wanted to experience pregnancy. I wanted to give birth. I used to watch Birthday, if anyone knows what that is, but I used to watch Birthday with my stepmom, and that was just basically a show where you see just moms, giving birth and going through the birthing process. And I honestly was just really in love with the process, the idea that women can, carry this life, sustain this life in their stomach, and then deliver them, into the world. And I was like, I don't care what happens, I need to do that before I die, literally. And so I think along with that, and just kind of seeing, people who are pregnant, seeing them have children and all that, I feel like I just always thought that pregnancy was going to be kind of this magical thing, I'm going to be so excited when I find out, and my husband's going to be excited, and then baby's going to be growing, and I'm going to be able to feel the kicks and all that, and I can wear all the cute, pregnancy stuff and look cute and all that jazz. But then, I got pregnant. And
well, before you get there, so when I was younger, obviously pregnancy was something I was thinking about much. But when I met Jazz, I don't know, I feel like this was in our first year of dating. I think you were telling me about this Ricky Lake show.
Oh yeah, it was a documentary, The Business of Being Born.
Right, and so she would tell me about all this stuff, and I could see how excited she was about the potential of becoming a mom, right? And so oftentimes, even if you're not so excited about something, if you're with someone who is really passionate about that thing, you kind of get excited for them, and then you might get excited yourself. And so a lot of those same hopes and dreams and stuff that she was talking about, because I was with her, I was also excited for her to experience all those things too, because it's something that obviously she's been thinking about since she was young. Almost how a lot of women kind of think about their ideal wedding, and that special day in the same way she kind of thought about, it seemed to me like she thought about pregnancy in a similar way. Yeah. And so I was just as excited for you to experience it. Obviously for me too, I'm gonna have a son or a daughter. That's awesome. Right. But more so that you could kind of fulfill those desires. Yeah.
And so I got pregnant with Josiah, and it just was kind of completely different from what I expected. And I think that people see pregnancy is still a beautiful thing, but I think now maybe I just have my realism glasses on and I'm pregnancy is a great thing, but the reality of pregnancy is that your body is sustaining the growth and development of another human being. And a lot of times that means that developing fetus embryo is going to be taking a lot of things from you that it needs, so that way it can grow and develop. And that looks differently for a lot of people. I mean, there are people out there who are my pregnancy was just so easy and amazing, and I wish that I was one of those people. But I think a lot of the times there's a bunch of people who are I experienced so many things, pregnancy heightens my autoimmune disease. I have terrible morning sickness. I was on bed rest for months. Extreme tiredness. My anxiety was through the roof during this time. All these different things that just take a toll on you and your body and your mental health. And you're excited to be having this baby, but it's still, like I said, taking that toll on you. And so I think I don't know, that first pregnancy kind of shook me, because I'm oh my goodness, this is not anywhere near.
Well, tell them what type of things you were going through specifically.
Well, we're talking about this baby now, right?
Okay.
So okay. I think right now, is there anything you wanted to add?
When Josiah was born, I think Jazz isn't really going as harshly as she might want to. It was terrible. It was the first trimester was very, very challenging, and it's a really weird position to be in, because as someone who's, supporting you, you've wanted this thing for so long, right? Mm-hmm. We're here. When you find out you're pregnant, we're super excited. Everything is great. And then like almost abruptly, things just completely flip, right? And so like now you're sick all day. You can't get out of bed at all. And it's like, I'm excited for this thing, but I'm like not happy about what it's doing to you. Mm-hmm. And so like there's like this weird dissonance where I'm like, I don't really know how to feel about this thing. Like I obviously want my son to come, but I want you to not have to endure what you're going through anymore. And it's like, because other people have such varying experiences, I never saw someone who was going through what you were going through. Mm-hmm. And if they were, maybe they were just kind of not hiding it, but like, doing a good job of downplaying or not, expressing it. And so, yeah, someone who's like, it's like, yo, we're so excited about this thing, and it's like, no, we're not anymore. And I'm like, how do I like both be excited, but also like kind of empathize with what you're going through? Because sometimes empathy can be challenging for me, guys. Yeah. And sometimes it can't, like, because I can't. There's no way for me to like really measure personally the pain and whatever you're going through. So it's like, dang, you're sick again. Dang, you're sick again. Like, funny story, I'm kind of rambling. So Jazz, it was one day she was just really just not feeling well. And so she's in the bathroom and like she finished throwing up. And so like I'm like patting her back and all that stuff. And so we were coming out of the bathroom, and I had eaten not that long before this moment, and I kind of like burped, right? But she smelled like my breath through the burp and ran back to the toilet and started throwing up again. And I felt so bad because like I was like, yes, I'm here, I'm trying to support. And it's like, you're making it worse. And so like, yeah, that excitement, but reality, is that clash was tough.
And I think, for this pregnancy, is definitely different than my first. I don't think my morning sickness is as bad, but it definitely has lasted a lot longer. So now I'm officially in the third trimester. So looking back at the second trimester, I think a lot of the things that I experienced were kind of different. I feel like this time, one of the main differences with the second trimester for this one is obviously, like I said, I was still feeling sick, but and I wasn't in my first, but just getting bigger presented more challenges. Like I feel like in my second trimester, I felt how I felt in my third trimester with Josiah. So I'm getting bigger. I have a lot more pains. I'm not even that big, but I'm having a lot more round ligament pain. So now like walking, running, doing stuff, moving around a lot is very uncomfortable and sometimes very painful and challenging. And that's annoying because it's like your body is just kind of not doing the things that you're used to it doing, and just that kind of whole foreign feeling, like your body is just not your own anymore. It's just changing. Things are different, all over, everywhere. And I think that has been, I guess, the most kind of disappointing thing to me, because I'm just really tired and I can't really move how I want to move. And one area that kind of affects like really bad and is basically sex. Because I feel like I honestly, personally, some people say they love having sex when they're pregnant. That's just not me. I feel like a whale. I can't move. I can't do the same positions that I stand like normally. Now we gotta modify everything and slow it down and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, it definitely is not. I do not like it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. Is it bad for you?
No, but I think I don't know. I think I'm not in a bad space. Like if I was in a bad space where I was like, I don't know. I just kind of got used to it. Like I kind of know what to expect. Like my expectations are kind of adjusted this time around. So I'm not like thinking, oh, we're gonna be having sex every day or something. Like I kind of know what's going on. And sometimes too, like I get it, yo. Like, I get it. It's a lot more work. It's different. I think, more important is like, are we still connecting? I know sex is a big factor in how you feel connected, emotionally with me, right? And so like when we're not having it for long stretches of time, obviously it's kind of be like, yo, do you still feel connected in that same way? And I don't know. I guess that's something that we're like actually working through right now. Like I don't have the answer for this video. And of course we still have 3 more months to go, right? Yeah. And then after the baby's born, then there's like a period where you can't, where you shouldn't have sex for safety reasons or whatever.
And during that time is when
it's when you I know. And so it's like we're not like at the finish line yet. We still have some more time. And then even then, and when the baby's born, we have 2 babies to juggle. Like how do we? It's hard enough trying to carve out some time just to be mom and husband and wife with 1 kid. Now you have 2, and so it's like I don't know. I kind of think in my mind like if we get sex, it's like okay, it's great. You know what I mean? But if we don't, I'm not like man, I'm not bummed. I'm not angry or whatever or disappointed. I'm kind of like I understand why in this particular season we're not having as much as we were, prior.
Yeah. But I mean, the second trimester though, it's also a good time because you get to feel the baby kicking and stuff. So that does take away some of the disappointment that you have when you can't do things that you're used to doing.
I thought about something that I want to say, and something that has also impacted in our personal lives is we're trying to like really stop being lazy. That's something that we're really, really struggling with. Like this, trying to get convenience everywhere we can. Like, hey, let's push this off to tomorrow, and whatever that thing is, you end up pushing it to next week. Like, and so if Jazz is not feeling well, obviously, she should take it easy, she should rest. But like the negative effect of that is that okay, let's completely just take it easy. Let's completely stop whatever our plans were. And so like if Jazz has a couple of days where she's not feeling well, and I follow up with a day where I'm just being lazy, like before we know, we're kind of back into our bad lazy habits. And like we don't want to be there. Like we don't want to be in a spot where all we do is come home and just watch TV until bed. But it can be really easy because I'm like, honestly, my natural desire is I don't feel like working. I don't feel like being productive. I don't feel like working towards any goals. I feel like just watching TV. And if you're like, I don't feel like doing anything, I'm like, yeah, let's just watch TV together. So that's something else that's kind of, we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, I think I mentioned in the first trimester or in a previous video that, before when I was pregnant with Josiah, I wasn't cooking. I wasn't really doing anything. Especially once I was like this far along, I was just tired. Standing up for a long time to do the dishes is just tiring to me. My back hurts, my feet hurts, the round ligament pain, like I said, it's just like, it's annoying. And now because we have a kid, I still have to like get things done. I can't completely slack off. And Josiah still wants to play, and he wants to jump around, and he wants to wrestle. I feel like now that's his thing, and that's not something that I'm interested in right now. So I don't know. I just think like this second trimester has just been, again, just disappointing, just disappointed overall with the limitations that I have with my body. And I think with that comes like trying to, thinking about trying to remain content and where I am in the season that I'm in, and not having so many, like maybe lowering my expectations a little bit as well. And I feel like, that's easier said than done. And I feel like, the Bible calls us to be content and, where we are in the moment. And
so, because I think something that can be a struggle is I guess maybe, I'm not sure for you, but for me, like battling jealousy, like when I hear people who have such perfect experiences, it's kind of like, wow, great for you. You know what I mean? Like I'm not that happy. I mean, obviously I'm happy for you because I want you to have a great experience. I want everyone to have a great experience throughout their pregnancy. But sometimes, like, you just want that to be you too. Like, you kind of wish that it could be your situation, but we trust that God is, is always in control. and he's designed it so that this isn't our situation. And so in this, we're trusting to, one, obviously, like you said, be content, trying to find joy in all circumstances, which is something that, has always been kind of like coming back to us and trying to like remember that. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that you have to actively practice this. Like, we can't just passively like hope hope that it comes to us in these moments. Like, you have to be thinking about this continuously, praying about it, reading about it, so that when moments come of discouragement, like, you can kind of like fight back against that.
I think one thing, I mean, I do experience the jealousy. I also think one thing that's been very hard for me, or is because sometimes I just, I get discouraged because I can't do what I want to do, and I'm just like, this parasite inside of me is sucking the life out of me, right? And then and I'm having those negative feelings, and I'm like, I don't want to do this, I want this to be over, I can't wait for this to be over, and just kind of being ungrateful for being able to carry a baby and all that. And then someone will come up to me and they will, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, because I cry.
Cry for everything.
I cry a lot. But someone will come up to me and they'll start talking to like my stomach or whatever, and I instantly start crying because I'm like, I'm taking this for granted. But, and so, oh God.
Yeah, once she starts crying, guys, it's a wrap. Like, it's just not going to be able to stop.
I'm going to stop. I can stop. I just need a minute. Just give me a minute. But yeah, that wasn't me. That was the hormones. That was the hormones talking. I mean, I am a crier, but that was the hormones. But yeah, like I said, I just get so emotional because I feel like they are happier than me, or more just like realizing that this is actually a human being that you're carrying. And just reminding me of how ungrateful, I am. So I feel like, especially in those moments, trying to remember to remind myself that how much of a blessing this is, and not being so upset about what I can do, but just being more content with what I can do and happy with what my body is doing. So
right.
I don't know, I think it's a lot. I think it's hard. It can be hard at times to kind of look past your circumstances and just be more appreciative of the things that God gives us. But I think I'm definitely trying to do that more, especially with this pregnancy, trying to do that more and lean on God more, and pray more for me, for the baby, for everything, and not just, like I said, take it for granted.
Right. And I was just thinking, like, if you're still watching this video, I would like ask you guys to like pray for us, because we make these videos to try to encourage people to be engineered by God. And like, I feel like as we make these videos, each time like we're kind of convicted ourselves, like, hey, here's an area of our lives that we kind of should be improving on, or that we're kind of weak on. And so like when we make these videos, it's not like, hey, we got to put together. It's like, yo, we are working through this every single day. But some days are better than others, like all of us. So yeah, definitely pray for us. And of course, if you are still watching and after you're done praying, go ahead and subscribe. And hit the like button.
Yeah.
Hit the like button first, and then go ahead and subscribe. And click the notification bell so that you're, up to date with whenever we post new videos.
Yeah, and I don't know, just let me know. We want to hear from you in terms of like what, maybe if you're struggling with being content, if you don't struggle in that area at all, and just how you feel, about this topic in general. So let us know.
That's it.
See ya.